What's going on, guys? So, this Shoky Quickie, we're looking at the next Back to the Future NECA figure, and it is the Tales from Space version. And of course, Tales from Space was the comic book that George McFly was reading, and of course, they used that to their advantage, kind of. I don't know that Marty knew about this, or the fact that, well, basically it showed what equivalents to a DeLorean looking spaceship with a dude in yellow who's brainwashing people. So you got shocking science fiction stories, and of course I got a Back to the Future 35 logo. That's actually the SE logo because it's upside down, but it looks cool. I like the 10 cents there. That's pretty cool. And what does this say? Fantastic. That's pretty cool. And it comes to the side, and you get the Back to the Future Ultimate Marty McFly Tales from Space version. Same thing on that side. You got all three dates there. And of course, you come to the back and you get the radiation suit version of Marty. So, I mean, technically you can use this as that version, or if you somehow get to a first time machine using version where they need to put the plutonium in the DeLorean, there you go. The read-up is exactly the same, so we're not even going to bother. So we've got him coming out of the barn, got him coming out of the thing. Technically, these are kind of out of order, and then whatever that one is later. So there should be some new stuff in here. Actually, it should be entirely new, but you get this version. So he's in George's bedroom. So he claims to be Darth Vader from, where was he from? Was he from Vulcan, I believe? Yeah. And so he uses tape recorder along with or his Walkman along with a hairdryer to scare George. And of course you do have all the different versions, so this is going to look a little weird because one, he's in a radiation suit, almost a bee suit, which is weird, and then it's got different add-on parts and stuff like that and different accessories there. I hope that there's some kind of instruction as to what you use with what, because I have no idea. I'm probably gonna have to revert back to this. There's obviously completely no hood Marty. There's partially open hood Marty, and then there's fully closed hood Marty, but I don't see a fully closed version of the helmet. Maybe it's this one down here. So we'll see. That looks like it might be actual fabric, or maybe he's just carrying it. So let's get it open and actually see what's going on. Now, before I get too far, I wanted to show off something that is different with these figures versus, like, say, the Ninja Turtles. And this is the only other NECA stuff I have that isn't Ninja Turtles. They use these old-school plasticky metal wire twist ties instead of the just normal plastic retainer ties like they've used before. Oh, there's some nice little elastic loop wire there. So this is a little bit different. Of course, it's not at all too unfamiliar thing. It is just interesting to say the least. So I'll get them out here and take a look at the different stuff. I'm really interested in how they did the different radiation suit parts. All right, guys, so let's look at Banana Suit Marty up close. And I've got him with his helmet kind of just fully assembled here. It is a kind of piece together process, which is weird. And I will say right off the bat, he won't stand. His feet, especially his left foot, is stuck. And that is literally as far up as his foot will go. He has the exact same feet and ankles as the Marty we looked at last time, except for how they're mounted into the pants makes it kind of useless, because he instantly is standing on his heels. So I mean, I can't even, and legs aren't even equal length. Like, you can, like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? I gotta wonder if he's got drop down hips. No, they're just T-mounted joints. So something's not happy here. So he's definitely gonna have to be standing, like, split-legged and leaning ever so slightly. But let's look at the figure. So it does look like he's wrapped in just plastic paper, but it looks fine. Different yellows, which is really hard to look at if I'm honest. Zipper's painted nicely. The buckle is painted nicely. Radiation gloves right there, painted nicely in this strange orangey color. Even the back is nice. The pleats and everything like that are done really well. Once again, super hard to look at. It looks like it's glowing on camera. Why the cuffs of the pants are totally yellow with some orange, I have no idea. And the fact that you can have totally exposed feet is perfectly fine when you're handling radiation. Your shoes aren't affected. But it is interesting to say they use the same feet. So, articulation is roughly the same, but it looks, because he's got this big puffy suit on, it looks like he might have some ab crunch. It does, it doesn't stay. Shoulder can do that. The whole upper torso is soft, so. And then double jointed elbow, which probably isn't going to do us a ton of good, but you can get to about there. And then rotation on both sides plus the wrist. Can move in and out and rotate. And like I said, double ball joint, or not double ball joint, but ball joint mounted legs. There is going to be rotation up there. Works better than the jeans on previous Marty. And then you're going to have rotation at the knee, single jointed knee. I don't know if that was a real detent or just that hard to get moving, but it looks fine, except for the fact that he doesn't stand straight. I mean, it's just bad. And he only comes with 2 hands, one for holding a hairdryer and one for holding a tape recorder. That's it. But let's look at the helmet here real quick, because it is just held on ever so slightly. So, like I said, you got to piece this one together, and there's a reason for that. But you get the like gunmetal on the kind of respirator thing there, though it seems really strange you put that right in your line of sight. Orange band with silver nodules that aren't painted perfect, which means the machine was not aligned properly. And then you got the like apron here up front. Now this thing can be changed. So if you remove this and you remove this, then you just end up with a face shield Marty. So he's ready for the pandemic. And you can flip that up like so, and then you get super worried face Marty, and he does have a jean jacket on underneath, at least right there. Presumably it's just a normal ball joint head. Oh, it looks like he might have some neck movement too, so this might be a superior headed Marty. This has a dumbfounded look on his face. I like the hard hat, it does look good, and we've got some molding in there. Now if you want to apply a different look, you get what he sort of had in there, and you get a little bit of the molded in part for the hat. So that goes on there, and you want to push that back all the way. And then you get this little piece here. You can see it's got a little curved groove, and that can go in place where the other one was. So now you get the really weird face look. And so you're left with this and this just chilling. But wait, there's more. And yes, I'm doing accessories differently on him because his all apply in the same manner, almost all to the same place. So if you want to remove all this stuff and very carefully remove his head, do it off camera so I can get some leverage. Okay, so yeah, he's got a double ball joint neck, which I think regular Marty has a single. So there you go, you can pull that off, and you get an unhelmeted head worried Marty face, which is similar to the original, but more open-mouthed. And oh, yep, see, there's a number 3 in there, so it's the number 3 Marty head. It's an interesting thing to think of. Come on. As previously discussed in the last video, sometimes the ball joint, oh look at that, the ball joint, well I guess it goes up in there, but there it goes. That takes a lot of force. So now you've got Marty, and then you've got this thing, and I'm not entirely certain what you're supposed to do with it. It feels like it's supposed to hook back here, and maybe I am right about that, like just like this, which makes the most amount of sense to me that the helmet and all that would hook. It's interesting that that's just one piece and they just molded it and painted it all the same. So the funny thing is he's actually more posable than the regular Marty, but also less equipped at the same time. And the fact that he just will not stand. And yes, you can move the feet, but only ever so much, because that's detented specifically for the front of the shoe. So, I mean, you can position him only so far before he wants to fall over. I mean, and he's not even like a back heavy. He just, his foot just instantly makes him want to fall over backwards. I don't think utilizing the knee is really going to help him out any. I'd be happy if I can just get him to stand for a while. So like he just instantly goes over. I'm not even doing anything. So, you know, normally I think some people would probably cut this kind of stuff out, but for me, it's like, no, I'm proving that this figure has issues in the fact that right out of the box, I can't even get him to stand. I have to like tri-leg him here. Like way out front. Like I said, I didn't do proper articulation. It's fine. I know the mobility is going to be somewhat limited. To me, it's going to be worth it to carve out the front of that sock to hopefully get the shoe to come up higher. Something. Because it's like, or maybe this works. Hold on. Maybe that saved it. Maybe that ankle was assembled backwards. That might have fixed it. Yeah, that fixed it. Okay. So I think maybe that, well, sort of fixed it. Now he's got the opposite problem. So what I did there is I rotated the ankle 180 degrees and then rotated the foot back. So let's see if this one does the same thing. There we go. Get it to rotate. Oh, yeah. Maybe that was the problem. His ankles were on wrong. I don't know if that explains the totally different length pant legs, but, you know, I think that maybe got his feet somewhat fixed. It does seem like he's got more mobility in them now. And wants to lean forward instead of back. And forward is always optimal. So there we go. We fixed the problem. So if you guys have that, just try that. Same thing. So let's look at the rest of his accessories here. Because he has the hair dryer, which is funny because he still has a plug at the end of it. Like that. Salon selectives. I have no idea. I just said that. Very simple. Nothing crazy going on there. Let's see. And be super careful. That is a very thin piece of... I thought it was going to be like a little piece of wire or cord or something, no pun intended. Nope, it's actually just molded out of soft plastic and super thin, so be careful with that. And so yeah, let's get him. So the only thing that sucks about that is it's got no weight to it. So if you want to point it at George, you totally can. That's kind of cool. All right, so let's look at his Walkman. And it's nothing special. It's actually the crappiest piece of this, if I had to guess. Yeah, and then once again, this feels so scarily light. I mean, if anything, this is the stuff that necklaces can be made out of, and then slightly plastic coated. He has headphones, which I totally missed, and they aren't painted worth a crap at all. So that sucks. But what I want to see, and they're also made out of super soft, super soft plastic. See if I can get him on his head. I might have him backwards. Because they were important, at least at the beginning of the movie. Because he was wearing them. Yeah, there's nothing, there's no substance to these things at all. Like, they don't fit his head. So I don't know exactly what you're supposed to do with them if you can't even wear them. So let's get the actual thing in his hand. Presumably that's the way to hold it. Once again, being super careful. And I love that he like holds this up in a threatening manner and hits the button and like points it at George. But it's funny. Like, he looks so panicked right here. He's like, I don't even know what to do. And I mean, I wouldn't know what to do either, Marty. You're in literally the most impossible situation. You're trying to convince your dad to go to the uh, enchantment under the sea dance with your mom. I don't even know. I don't even know. But yeah, the fact that this isn't molded out of anything substantial makes it shit. So we're just gonna relax it down by his side. So one thing that would be nice is if it had the belt clip, so that you could actually clip it on his belt for usages. But it's fine. I mean, that's the best I can say about it. Is it's fine. That worried face is hilarious. But the fact that that's not, oh, I didn't even realize there were buttons on this side of the thing. I think this actually looks super good. Um, this worried face is okay with the helmet. It's a pain to have to piece the helmet together. I would have been okay with just a completely removable thing that sits on top of his head rather than having to build my own radiation suit, so to speak. Because you have to align all of these bits. So you can see here there's slots and things like that. And sort of set that in place. Oh, this is the open one. That's why I'm having issues. So you flip that up far enough, it'll hold that on the head. And then, like I said, you can grab this part and do that. Even though that looks, that's so silly. And of course, like I said, if you want to do the closed version, you can do that. Actually, you can totally do this. Let's see if we can make this somewhat official looking. Come on. Trying to figure out if that has any particular. Oh, it's so weird to have the head moving inside the helmet. Oh, that. I was like, why is it not going? Because it wasn't inside the thingy, and I dropped that piece. So, I mean, it almost occludes the other Marty face just enough, so it can look like he just is holding, you know, just the radiation helmet. So I mean, it's almost good enough for that purpose. Like you turn it down a little bit, you can't really see the Marty head, so that's pretty neat. I like it. Yeah, but annoying that like these soft rubber bits are not the easiest thing in the world to fit onto each other. Um, so let's bring in previous Ultimate Marty, which is cool. Though I feel like he needs the headset because he was wearing it for sure at this point. Like you could easily like attach that. And yes, I equipped him with virtually everything. So now he's holding the thing, the guitar is strapped on, his backpack is on, and he's holding his other thing. So it is what it is. And then we'll bring in another Marty that if you stuck around all the way to the end of the last review, you would have seen. And it's 1989 New York Marty. He doesn't want to stand. There we go. So he's had a few years. He's gotten a little taller, and once he moved to New York, he found a new group to hang out with without Doc around to help him out more, you know, morally. All right, so yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this version of Marty. Now, it is a Target exclusive, as I said, so you know you're gonna have to go there to get it, but pretty easy to see. You're not gonna miss it. And a lot of Targets that I've seen have the full lineup now, not just him. The first time I found it, it was just him, none of the alternate versions. So you should be able to find quite a lot of different versions of him at your Targets. Or if you go to Walmart, you won't find this one, but you'll find the rest. If you have this one, let me know if you have the same issues, if this wire is way too weak to do anything proper, or if your feet were totally misaligned when you got it and it caused you some issues. I really wish this was made out of something more substantial so that it would lay down easier, you know, something like that. Though we're gonna need a George McFly to torture, so that'd be a lot of fun. I do like the addition of the saggy helmet. I think that's a good thing. The piece together one annoys crap out of me, but I guess it's fine. And I can leave it like that in the background for the thumbnail, so it'll be cool. But guys, I will catch you next time. Like, subscribe, do all the things, help support merch down below and or Patreon. Every little bit would definitely help, but just watching and subscribing and getting this channel to 1,000 would be great. I'll see you next time. Remember, as always, keep on nerding.